It's Thursday, February 8th, 2024. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to get right into this video today. I've got some real important news that I want to share with all of you. It's vital. It's extremely concerning. It's going to affect everybody in this country. And it is really startling. And I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I wanted to respond to somebody in the comments yesterday before we get to this news. And please stay tuned because this is really, really serious. We are heading into some big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to share this with you in a minute. But yesterday, somebody wrote to me, and I'm just paraphrasing here. They said, what can we do instead of watching the Super Bowl? And I was reading on Twitter X last night. Patrick Bet David of Valuetainment, really loved that show. Super smart guy. And he put this on Twitter X last night. 1% of the population controls the world. 4% of the population are the puppets. 90% of the population are zombies. 5% are trying to wake up the zombies. So to this young man, here's my advice. What you could do instead of watching the Super Bowl is stop being a zombie, stop giving these organizations your time, stop giving these organizations your money. Go out, take the time, take the money, and go get skills. So that is my advice for the day. Now, switching gears. I was watching a YouTube channel last night, which I've watched numerous times, Marfugal News. I'm going to put the link below on this, Marfugal News. Really, really good YouTube channel, real smart guy. And I'm watching this video last night, and I advise that everybody watching this right now, at some point today, tonight, tomorrow, whatever it might be, go to Marfugal News and check this show out. He's talking about something that I found extremely disturbing. It's a must listen. Sheriff Rick Jones, okay, of Butler County, Ohio. He's reporting what took place when all of these sheriffs, including Rick Jones of Butler County, Ohio, went to an FBI meeting in D.C. with a multitude of other sheriffs. And what this sheriff is talking about is extremely alarming. The sheriff, Rick Jones, said, if you don't believe, he says this, if you don't believe me, you can do what the Israelis did and you can build a little safe house in your basement. That's how pretty much it starts out. And so we know what happened to a lot of those people in Israel. Again, there were 3,300 sheriffs in the U.S. briefed by Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI and other federal agencies. The administration, although the administration refuses to meet with the sheriffs and police chiefs in the U.S. Now, Christopher Wray said that they are seeing multiple red flags, literally more than ever before, and these red flags are going off. He says, we have people in this country right now who do not like us. Now, the sheriff goes on to say that we were told that we're in trouble right now, terrible trouble, and that we're on the defense, not the offense. We're not going to be able to call for help from the federal government. They're going to be too busy. That's what he said. The federal government will be too busy to help us, ladies and gentlemen. This is coming from a sheriff. So as this country is in multiple conflicts, we are not prepared to deal with some sort of conflict or emergency right here on our own soil, right here in America. And this is extremely concerning. And this is why I've been making videos for years, not just talking about the economy, but other things that can erupt. And we're getting very, very close to something, I feel. And we have so many people here that we have no idea why they're here, where they're from, what their intentions are, how much do they hate us. He goes on to say that we have groups, large armies may already be here. The sheriff said that we've been attacked in Butler County. Russians have hacked our computers. China has been in our critical infrastructure for 5 years. In a little town or a little county in Ohio. So imagine what's happening all over the United States of America, maybe in our larger cities. The Chinese attacked our dispatch systems, or are attacking our dispatch systems 5 times a day. So this is currently going on right now. We're having Iranian attacks 3 times a day. They're trying to disrupt us daily. This is what the sheriff of Butler County is saying right now. Extremely disturbing. If this is happening in Ohio, imagine what's happening in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. They're hitting water treatment facilities. They're hitting hospitals. They're hitting dispatch centers. They're hitting financial systems. They are trying to disrupt us, ladies and gentlemen. So the sheriff says that all of their cars have long rifles, go bags, and extra mags. They're putting that in every car. They're training civilians over there in Butler County now, 30 a day, I guess. In disaster response. Think about what we are not being told, what we don't know, things that are happening right now here in this country. We are being attacked right now. Our grid system, the sheriff wanted to say, is being attacked daily. He said it was built in the 1960s and it has overheated multiple times just on its own. Now it's being attacked. So this is, to me, one of the most disturbing things I have heard in a long time. And think about how old our infrastructure is. If it goes down, how long would it take to replace? This isn't like something you just replace in a day. It's not like we have an infrastructure in the warehouse ready to replace the old infrastructure or the old grid or the old terminals. These things have to be built, ordered. They come from other countries. You're going to see cities at some point in America, I believe, that are going to be out of power for a very, very long time. He went on to talk about drones. Drones could be an issue, ladies and gentlemen. The sheriff talks about drones, how they cannot detect drones, but how everybody has drones, all the way down to his grandkids. Think about how dangerous, how you could load up a drone with explosives or biological type weapons. Very, very dangerous. He went on to say this, and please watch the video. I'm just going over some of it here. We train for specific events, not multiple events. So, we've seen events may happen at a school or a mall, and you'll see like 100 police there. What happens if a county or a large city doesn't have one event, but it's 10, it's 20, it's 50 events taking place at one time? The system will be overwhelmed, and this is why you're on your own. This is why I make these videos. I've been making these videos for many, many years to tell you and warn you that nobody's coming to help you. The federal government's not coming to help you. The police aren't coming to help you. You will be on your own, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you need to be preparing for a disaster in your own house, your neighborhood, your town, your county. You need to be prepared for disaster. Food, water, skills, security. Think about how close we are to really seeing historic events break loose in America. So the sheriff went on to say, get food, get water. He also emphasized solar generators, not diesel generators or gas generators. He said solar generators because they're talking about if the grid goes down in your area, there's no power. You cannot run gas pumps, diesel pumps. The gas stations close down. They can't even do a simple transaction, but none of this will work. So he's saying solar generators. If towns go down, you've got to be aware that there's going to be no communication, that they're going after the cell towers. They shut the cell towers down. Imagine how people will freak out if they can't turn on their phone, if they can't go online, if they can't call their friends. What are they going to do? People are going to be sitting ducks, ladies and gentlemen. And I emphasize and reiterate to all of you, prepare. This is no game. Look, there's football and there's real life. And while people are watching football games and basketball games and baseball games and supporting all of this stuff, we have big trouble taking place right now, and it's here knocking at our door right now. The question is, are you going to be one of the prepared, or are you going to be unprepared? So I wanted to bring that up. Check out Marfugal News. I'll put the link down below. Very, very interesting. It is eye-opening. It is scary, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? Maybe people need to get a little scared, because the only way they're going to take action is when they get scared enough to do something. But unfortunately, it will be too late for so many. Here's one from Gallup. Less than half of Americans very satisfied with own lives. And I say this in response to this article: they're going to be a lot less satisfied very, very soon. Can you imagine these people right now who are not satisfied with their own lives, how unprepared they are? What's going to happen when their phones get shut down, when their water doesn't work, when they can't turn their air conditioning on, their TV on? What happens when they don't have food and they begin to get hungry? These people, if they think they're not satisfied right now, they're going to be very dissatisfied very soon. Again, less than half of Americans very satisfied with their own lives. There's going to be a lot less satisfied people very, very soon, because they are not prepared for these major events that are coming. But think about this: less than half of Americans are very satisfied. So a majority of Americans are not satisfied with their lives, and nothing bad has happened in this country yet. Wait till it does. They're going to be very, very dissatisfied. Here's another one today from the Hedge. Red Sea trouble threatens U.S. freight recovery. So we keep hearing about the booming economy. We keep hearing that inflation's going down, it's going away, but it's still here. How could this not be inflationary when the Red Sea is literally shut down? How can this not be inflationary? This will make rate cuts less likely to happen, because this is very inflationary. This will continue to push the U.S. economy down, and many other economies down, deeper into recession, deeper into this depression, call it what you want. But there's no way that they're going to be able to stomp out inflation when now you have the Red Sea shut down. And here's another thing right here from the Hedge. Hershey CEO warns earnings limited as cocoa prices hyperinflate, not inflate, hyperinflate. So you're going to pay more for chocolate, you're paying more for a candy bar, and so now we have this global bean shortage, hyperinflating cocoa prices. Cocoa futures jumped to a new record high of $5,423 a ton. Prices have jumped, get this, 165% since September of 2022, and they're telling us that inflation is 3%. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So it just keeps getting worse, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another one today on the Hedge. Oil prices way up today. As global oil inventories are rapidly, unexpectedly sinking, JP Morgan sees $10 crude jump by May. I think we were up over $2.50 today. This is going to be a big problem. It will be extremely inflationary because everything is shipped with oil. It takes oil to make things. It takes oil to ship things. And so it will be very, very inflationary. And we saw a big jump today. Here's another one. Fox Business. Housing demand stalls out as mortgage rates march higher. Bankrate.com, 30-year fix, 7.1% today. It says here applications are down 19% compared to the same time last year. Refis are up 12% compared to the same time last year. And it would probably indicate that people are desperate and they're broke and they're actually refining their houses at these rates. Means to me they're broke and they need money and they're desperate. But these are not good numbers. And anybody in the real estate business, it is literally done, and it's going to be done for years, and it hasn't even gotten bad yet. I don't see rates coming down much. In fact, I believe rates could even go up. Commercial real estate is scorched earth. Housing, we are in a housing collapse right now. When you look at home sales across America down 35, 40%, that is a housing collapse. And remember this, the short-term rental market is getting crushed, and the average American who wants to buy a house is getting crushed. They're getting crushed by debt. Their credit's being destroyed. They've taken on way too much debt, and they're not going to be able to qualify to buy a home. We're going to see inventory continue to rise. The inventory of qualified buyers will not keep up with the pace of rising home inventory, and we're going to see big trouble. The Hedge, our bank runs back on the menu. The problem that led to the failures last year are reemerging. 10-year Treasury yield is hovering a bit higher than it was when banks started failing last year. The 30-year is holding steady well above where it was this time last year. So the problem is not going away. They can tell us that the banking industry or the banking sector is safe and healthy. It is not. The consequence, it says here, of 0% interest, which we literally had for over a decade, followed by rapid rate hikes, is approaching. So this is what happens when you go from 0 to 100 in 6 seconds. There's consequences, and now we're seeing those consequences, and we're going to continue to see them. And I don't see how in the world the Fed is going to justify lowering rates. If they do, and it's quite possible that they do, they are going to really break things. If they cut rates multiple times this year, they are going to bring in more inflation. And if they really get out of control, they're gonna bring in hyperinflation. And so I think the Fed is really stuck. I think they're better off to stay where they're at and actually raise rates, because if they do the reverse, they're gonna continue to put more gasoline on the fire. And remember, this is exactly what got us into this mess. Low rates, all this money printing has caused this. And now none of these markets can function. The housing market can't function with legitimate interest rates. So all the markets, the housing market, the stock market, all it knows is cheap, easy, free money. And if it doesn't get artificial injections, it dies. And it continues to hope and hope and hope for all these rate cuts. I don't see it happening. I really don't. If it does, it's going to be great for gold and silver. It's not going to be great for your purchasing power. It's not going to be great for the average American. Maybe we get a sugar high from it for a little bit. The markets will love it. But the average American is going to be paying more for gas. They'll be paying more at the grocery store. They're going to be paying more for insurance. They're going to be paying more for everything. So we're in big trouble. And not just financially. Be extremely careful when you're out there. Be extremely careful in big crowds, little crowds. It doesn't even matter. We have got to really, really be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Tough times are here. Things are knocking at the door. And we better be paying attention. So God bless. Stay safe. And as always, I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you.